Right. Good evening, members and members of the public and the press attending this annual council meeting of BCP Council on the 6th of May 2024. I am Leslie Dedman, and as Chairman of BCP Council, I shall be chairing the first part of this meeting. So can I just let you know the housekeeping arrangements for this meeting? Please note that the meeting is being recorded by the Council for live and subsequent broadcast, and it will be published on the Council website for a minimum of 6 months. So in order to ensure that the meeting is managed effectively, please could everybody follow these ground rules. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand clearly to indicate. And as a matter of courtesy, can you indicate to the chair if you wish to leave the meeting? Right, so we're starting on the agenda. Agenda item 1, apologies. Chief Executive, can you read out the apologies for this meeting?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies have been received from Councillor Cameron Adams, Councillor Sue Aikenhead, who we think may be late, Councillor Hazel Allen, Councillor Sharon Carr-Brown, Councillor Brian Chick, Councillor Peter Cooper, Councillor Mike Cox, Councillor Anne Filer, Councillor Andy Martin, Councillor Chris Matthews, Councillor Felicity Rice and Councillor Vicky Slade.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Agenda item 2, declarations of interest. Chief Executive, can you report on any declarations of interest that we've received?
Thank you, Chair. No declarations have been received to date, but if any member does think they have a declaration of interest or potential declaration, if they could follow the flowchart that's set out in the agenda for guidance. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Members, before we move right on into the items of business for this evening, I think we'd like to welcome His Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Dorset, Mr. Michael Dooley, who is sitting in on this meeting. Michael, thank you. And also, can I highlight the forthcoming VE Day celebrations, which we're going to do all over Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole to mark the 80th anniversary of victory in Europe. The beacon lighting event will take place here in the front of the BCP Council Civic Centre, obviously Thursday the 8th of May. All across the country the beacons will be lit. We're having music courtesy of the Poole Borough Band from 9 o'clock, and then the beacon will be lit at 9:30. So I hope to see at least some of you, but I do know that there are so many things going on that you may all be at your own town's celebration. Right, now we have got a small place where I can just say a few words before I start the next part of the meeting. I want to say to everybody, thank you so much. I've had a really good year as chairman. I've really not only enjoyed it, but I've been really proud to be the chairman of this council. I know we've only been going for 6 years, and there have been a few controversies, but we're now showing what a dedicated, responsible council we are. And that's the message that as the chairman, representing all of you, I was going to say I try to take, but I don't try to take. I take that message out to all the events that I've been to, and I've been to a lot. And it's been a great pleasure to be there, but it's also a great pleasure to be able to say to people, this is growing into a very good council. So I want to say that I have, as I say, really enjoyed it. The meetings have been a pleasure, and thank you very much for having me, I suppose. Right, item 3, election of the chair of the council. Now, I hand over to the vice chairman, who will, I don't know if he takes the chair, I'm sure he can do it from his own chair.
Evening, councillors. Right, I seek nominations for the election of Chair of the Council until the next annual Council meeting in 2026. Do we have any proposers? Councillor Martin. Thank you. Do we have any other nominations?
Yes, he's got to say his piece first.
Councillor Martin, do you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Gives me great pleasure this evening to propose again Councillor Leslie Dedman for another new year as Chair. I'm sure we can all agree that she has done a marvellous job, and as you've already shared tonight, Leslie, something that you take great pride in, and I know you feel is a real honour. So I hope we can all support for your nomination again. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Burton, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, please. I'd like to second and just to say I think Leslie's done a really great job of chairing council. I know she's done it with great humour and kept us generally on time, which I'm very grateful for. And I also seen her at work doing her other work in the community, representing the local authority, and she's done it so well. So I'm very pleased to second her.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Thank you. So I think I hand over to Graham at this point.
Thank you. I can ask the newly elected chairman to read the declaration of acceptance of office.
So shall I say thank you very much? I accept. Get that bit in first, perhaps. Thank you very much. Right, signing the book. Oh, have your pen. Sorry. I'm just going to read the declaration of acceptance of office. I, Councillor Leslie Dedman, having been elected to the office of Chair of BCP Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. And I've signed the declaration of acceptance of office. Right. So we don't have to swap over the chains, so that's a bit of theatre that we don't do. George, can I call you?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. May I be the first to congratulate you on being elected Chair 3 times in a row. May I propose from the floor here on behalf of the Council, and I'll seek a seconder, that your name be engraved upon the chains which you wear around your neck as a mark of our respect for the actual role that you have as Chair of the Council. I seek a seconder.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you very much, Councillor. Right, shall we move on, members, to item 4? Oh, sorry.
There's a seconder, I think.
Oh.
Yes,
So who was waving, though? I didn't see.
It was me, Leslie. Yeah, Councillor Waite. Just to say I'd second that for George, if you wish.
So that's
just check it's carried. You might want to just check it's carried.
okay. Members, is everybody in agreement with that? Thank you.
I said that's a yes. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel as if I'm blushing up here, but I hope I'm not. Thank you very much. Now can we move on to item 2? No, not 2. We've done that. Item 4, election of the Vice Chair of the Council. Councillors, I seek nominations for the election of Vice Chair of the Council until the next annual Council meeting in 2026. Before I ask for a proposer... Oh yes, that's fine. I'm asking for a nomination from the floor. Councillor Rigby.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations on retaining Chair. I would like to nominate Councillor Bull, please, from the floor. I don't know if you want me to say anything now or wait to see if I've got a seconder, which I hope I have.
Who's seconding, Councillor? Thank you.
Happy to second, Chair.
Councillor Wilson, thank you. Any more nominations for Vice Chairman? Well, can I just add my nomination, well, not nomination, but seconding to the nomination. Councillor Bull has been an absolutely splendid Vice Chair, so I will be really, really pleased to have him back again. So I think that means that you're back as the Vice Chair, Simon.
Thank you.
If you want to read it from there or from there and then sign it.
Okay.
You can read it from that, might be easier to say from that one.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I, Councillor Simon Bull, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair of BCP Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thanks,
Simon, did you want to say a few words?
Only to thank my proposer and my seconder and all the members for their support. Thank you.
Well, thank you, councillors. That seems to have gone, well, very smoothly, if nothing else. So thank you, everybody, for that. So we're going to move into the next item of the meeting, which is the meeting proper, almost. Agenda item 5. This is the review of the political balance of the council, the allocation of seats on the committees to each political group, and the appointment of councillors to committees and outside bodies. I'm going to call upon Councillor Earl, who I understand will propose the recommendations in the report. Councillor Earl.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations to you and the Vice Chair on your re-election. This paper is to update the political balance to reflect the changes to group allocations, in this case Councillor Rampton leaving the Conservative group and now sitting as an unaligned councillor. I'd like to draw attention to Table 5 of the report, which is the appointments to outside bodies, where Councillor Miles has not been included as a member of Dorset and Wiltshire Fire Authority. I just want to give assurance that it's allocated to Paul People, but Pete's name was missed off accidentally, so we shall add his name, but because of the allocation it doesn't require a full amendment. I'd urge Council to vote for the recommendations and the information in the tables unamended. Thank you.
Councillor Earl, do you have a seconder for this? Oh, hello, Councillor Hannah, sorry. Councillor Hannah, do you wish to speak?
Thank you. Just to add my own congratulations to formally second and reserve my right to speak. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Councillors, do you wish to speak on this? Councillor Broadhead.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And to add to the congratulations to Thon, I will also congratulate you on continuing as Chairman of the Council. So well done you. Colleagues, as you've seen from the email earlier on, I've got one very small amendment that I would like to make to the political balance. As we all know, this is never an inexact science, and the loss of the seat in the Conservative group means that within audit and governance, and both audit and governance and environment and place, the Conservative group has between 1 or 2, and only 3 spaces on both of those between those two committees. The table in front of you has the Conservative group to lose 1 space on the Audit and Governance Committee, but as I outlined in the email earlier on today, the Pool Engage group, who have been allocated that committee, have expressed a preference to instead go on to the Environment and Place Committee. The Conservative group are happy to accommodate that, so I would like to seek an amendment to approve the recommendations as is, with an amendment to Table 2 to change the numbers on the Conservative group on Audit and Governance from 1 to 2, and from Environment from 2 to 1, and for Pool Engage and Audit and Governance from 1 to 0, and for Environment and Place from 0 to 1. As I'd outlined in the email earlier on, there are actually very, very few of the panels for any of the parties that are exactly aligned to the closest number. And I've given a few examples for the administration, where a number of their committees, they have more in some than their allocation, but less allocation and less in others. Those that have been paying attention for a number of years will know that no matter which side of the floor I've been sat on, I've always said that I think it's appropriate that political groups should decide when there's a bit of higgledy-pigglediness where that goes. And so this is a very, very small amendment, and I hope to seek the Council's approval for that change. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Broadhead. Firstly, have you sent the actual words of this amendment round?
Just got round, literally just now.
Literally, well, I haven't seen it yet. And secondly, do you have a seconder?
Indeed, it does, Madam Chairman. And firstly, before I so second, I congratulate you and your Vice Chair on your continuance. You have indeed both been exemplar leaders of this chamber, and I thank you for your good services. Should I speak now or defer?
Yes, do. Speak now,
yes,
Judy.
I requested that I would go on to the Environmental Committee, which suits me best and is where I think I can best serve. And I spoke with our Democratic Services leader if he would have that discussion. And I very much hope that I'll be able to take up that post. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman.
Do we have more speakers on the amendment? Oh, Councillor Rigby.
Thank you, Chair. Normally, I'm all in favour of this tinkering around and trying to get things done, but on this instance, I'm afraid I can't support this amendment. And the reason of this is I'm speaking now as the current chair of the Environment and Place Committee, which, when the amendment came around, I found it kind of laughable that you said that Pool Engage show a preference for having a seat on the Environment and Place Overview and Scrutiny Committee when they have had a place on that committee for the last 2 years and have not attended one single meeting of that committee. Not only has there not been attendance at that, we have only had one apology, and that was before the committee was renamed to Environment and Place from Place. So that's 2 years' worth of meetings where we sat as a committee, one short, which has meant we've had limited debate. We have not had the views from people come in, and we've not had the opportunity as a committee to have the full number of people sat in the room discussing the topics which we want to talk about. And now we've got the party who is expressing a preference to be there to what? Not attend again. And I don't think that's fair on the committee. I don't think that's fair on any committee, actually, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I realise I'm probably not talking to wherever that'll be, Audit and Governance, I think, where the new seat will be, which may not be attended, but I'd like to see Environment and Police at least be able to sit with a full committee for a series of meetings, because we deserve to. And the council taxpayers deserve to see that debate. We as councillors deserve to have good debate in the room. I think not showing up and then expressing that you want to be there is not fair. And that's the only reason. Normally, I'd be all about this tinkering around and saying, let's agree ourselves. But when we've got members who do not want to turn up to meetings and then say they want to be there after the fact, it just seems more like shenanigans rather than actual desire to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rigby. The leader was next.
Thank you. There are many ways to cut a cake, and slices are not always exactly equal, simply because in this case, we're dealing with fractions and we can't chop councillors into pieces. What we can do, though, is allocate based on the decimals to the best of our ability as set out in the legislation and work from there, and that's what I've done. From resolving over and under allocations for groups, then dealing with the committee over and under allocations, and then allocating our aligned colleagues seats on committees, and then, of course, the outside bodies. In fact, the allocation for the Conservative group, since Councillor Rampton left, is the only one that resolves itself with a clear weighting towards Environment and Place Overview and Scrutiny Committee rather than Audit and Governance Committee. And agreeing this amendment would fly directly in the face of those base allocations and that starting point. The only choice of council, if we take political balance seriously, is to allocate the Conservative group one on Audit and Governance. Taking the base approach, this is the most balanced political balance and allocations to committees we have had to date. And I won't be supporting this amendment because the correct allocation, once all else has been considered, is set out in the paper. Thank you.
Right. Any more speakers on the amendment? Right. I've only just seen the actual amendment. I don't know if everybody else has got their laptops open and has seen it, but I'm going to just read it out, Councillor Broadhead, because I think we need to get clear. So the amendment is the recommendation as agreed, but to amend Table 2 to make the following changes: reduce Conservative seat on environment and place from 2 to 1, increase pool engage seat on environment and place from 0 to 1, reduce pool engage seat on audit and governance from 1 to 0, increase Conservative seat on audit and governance from 1 to 2. Right, that's Councillor Broadhead's amendment. Did you want to wind up your amendment? Hang on, I'm so sorry, Phil. Councillor Farquhar.
Oh, sorry, Chair. Pressed the wrong button, Luddite. I'm sorry I missed the opportunity to contribute to the debate. I must say that I'm quite moved by Councillor Rigby as the chair of a very important scrutiny committee. In his remarks that he can't support the amendment. I myself have had experience of chairing in the other place, as it were, wearing a different hat, and it's one of my great concerns is that where due deference is not paid and apologies are not offered, then it makes it so much harder for the other members to actually fulfil their duties on which particular committee that they've been allocated to. In addition to that, it's a case of that, as Councillor Rigby said, it's not fair to the electorate, because the electorate vote us all individually with an expectation that not only we will serve as ward councillors, we will serve as we're required to do as regards to political balance. And the chopping and changing, because it may well suit when you don't have a proven record of attending a committee and showing the appropriate deference, for whatever reason, doesn't sit easy with me. So I will find it difficult to support the amendment as given. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Farquhar. Now, does anybody else wish to speak before Councillor Broadhead sums up his amendment? No.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Just some brief comments on what we've heard. I would urge colleagues that haven't spoken to not go down the route of setting a precedent of enforcing other political groups to take up something just because they've got a particular opinion. The way that political proportionality is in place is to ensure that the proportionality is reflective of the political makeup, and I do think it's absolutely right. I wouldn't dare dream tell the Green group or the Labour group or the Lib Dem group where I think they should be, and I think it is just a bit of a step too far and opens up a dangerous precedent to be able to do so. So I would urge colleagues to support this very minor amendment. With regards to the leader's comments on the fairest way is to be as close to the decimal points as others. Well, Leader, there was a reason I gave the examples in the email earlier on, because very few of the Liberal Democrat seats currently allocated conform to the closest decimals as it stands. And actually, the ones that I gave earlier on were actually for the last season. But as I'd said, in standards, the Lib Dems are entitled to 2.61 seats. They have 4 seats. They had 4 seats, 3.36 on A&G, and have taken 4 seats, and 4.11 seats on environment and place, and have only taken 3. And that's a legitimate choice for the Lib Dem group as to where they saw the best allocation of those seats, even though they're nowhere near the nearest decimals. So I do find it slightly rich for the leader now to urge other political parties to do something very different to what she is doing herself. The final point I would make with regard to the comments that we've heard from Councillor Rigby, I'm not going to get into particular details on behalf of other individuals, although some colleagues will know some of the health issues that have resulted in the situation recently. And I just think it's really quite appalling, some of the language you've used in those circumstances. I always use the treat others as you wish to be treated. And if I'd had to go through some of the health issues that colleagues have been through and then had people say things like that in front of them, I'd take a long, hard look at oneself. But either way, putting all of that to one side, it's a very simple amendment. Where should the Conservative group and the Pool Engaged group have their preferred seats? And I think it would be great to get your support. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Councillor Broadhead. Now, I think we need a show of hands on this. All those in favour of the amendment, raise your hands, please. Oh, no, good. us. Thank you. Those against? Simon, did you get? Thank you. Any abstentions? Yes, that's my hand. Okay, so it falls. Thank you, members. The amendment has fallen. Now we can start a debate, if we wish, on the actual recommendation in the report. Does anybody wish to speak on this? Councillor Canavan.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to report to Council some changes in the representation from the Labour group on Table 3. I have advised Democratic Services of these changes, but I was asked if I would report it to Council in order that it could be recorded in the minutes. So what I'm asking Council to accept is that you replace my name on the Overview and Scrutiny Board with that of Councillor Michelle Dower, and that you replace Councillor Dower's name on licensing with my name. So that's the amendment I would like to record. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Canavan, and that's accepted by the Council. So now we're speaking on the recommendation. Anybody wish to speak on this? Right, can we go to the vote then, please? All those in favour? Oh, I'm sorry, did somebody, who did?
Well, Councillor Hannah seconded it, reserved, and Councillor Millie.
Councillor Hand, did you wish to speak?
I reserve my right to speak, but feel no need. Thank you.
I think Councillor Hall gets to summarise.
Oh, okay. Leader, summarise.
There's nothing more to add.
Right. Righty-ho. Now we can go to the vote, I believe. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you, members. All those against? Thank you, members. And abstentions? Yes. Thank you. That's carried, councillors. Right, moving on. Agenda item 6. This is the calendar of meetings for 2025 to 26 and 2026 to 2027. Members, you're asked to approve the schedule of meetings that we've already seen for those years up to 2027. Can I ask for a proposer and a seconder? I'm happy to propose. One second. Right, that's Chairman and Vice Chairman are proposing and seconding. I don't think anybody wishes to speak. I certainly don't. I don't know why you find that funny at all. So, does anybody wish to speak? Right. I will sum up as the proposer. I wish to accept it. I think it's a jolly good calendar of meetings, thank you. Vice Chairman, do you wish to say anything?
No.
Thank you. Right, we have to move to the vote. Can I take it that we've got consensus on this? All in favour? Yes. Thank you. Agreed. Oh, I seem to have run out of agenda items. Okay, so I've got down here, thank you, members. The time is 7:30. That must be some sort of a record. Can you remain seated until the live stream has ended? Thank you, members.